into waking dreams fade away. Embrace the brand new day.
Hello and welcome to Connor Reviews, and today we continue our journey through Fire Emblem Fates month by tackling the next game in the series, Birthright. If you haven't played Fire Emblem Fates yet, I suggest watching our month's intro video to kind of explain what happens. The big premise of these games is that for the first couple chapters, they are the exact same game, but you reach a pinnacle point where you must make a choice, and depending on the choice you make is the game you're going to be playing. In this game, we're going to be tackling if you chose to side with Hoshido. Hoshido is the neighboring kingdom of Nor, and while things have been a little bit more tense than the Korean border between you and your neighbor Nor, your kingdom doesn't want to rule with an iron fist, doesn't want to live in fear. Hoshido believes in peace above all else, and they want to make sure that all their people are happy, living great lives, and not go to war unless it is absolutely necessary. Now, let's talk about the environments, as it is something I didn't actually get to talk a lot about in the previous review. Now, both of these kingdoms here, and both games, you spend a lot of time in both kingdoms, and they've done a great job to make the environments feel very different in each kingdom. By the people that live there, the environment, the culture, and just the structures of the building feel drastically different, which is really nice. On the north side, you get a lot more darkness to it. The sun doesn't actually shine a lot of the year just due to how thick the trees are there. So it's very different. The dark tone actually really goes along well with the game, as Conquest is a lot more of a darker story compared to Birthright. And one of the other big differences too was the people. It's even when interacting with people, you find the people in Hoshido are a lot more friendly and a lot more kind and open to you, whereas the people that are living on the north side are not as friendly. They're a little bit more standoffish, and they're just not very friendly people. They're kind of assholes. Although, to be fair, we couldn't see the sun majority of the year just because a bunch of fucking trees were blocking the way, I'm pretty sure we'd all be assholes too. And besides the people of Nor being very unwelcoming too, the kingdom itself is very gothic inspired, so a lot of gothic building. You walk in, it looks like Dracula's castle. It's not the most welcoming, come on over kind of neighbor to have, compared to Hoshido, which is the opposite. Hoshido is just so damn beautiful. Oh my god, it is one of the most beautiful empires you will see. The Hoshido Empire is based on a traditional Japanese theme, except clearly Japan ain't got shit on Hoshido, as Hoshido has somehow figured out how to make cherry blossom trees bloom year-round to add that much more beautifulness to their empire. Although, to be fair, I think anyone would think a nation is beautiful when you actually get to see the trees, the sunlight, for more than 3 hours a day. Now I'm kind of starting to see why Nor's an asshole. Oh my god, Nor, you have to come over. Come visit us in our beautiful empire with our beautiful cherry blossom trees and our beautiful buildings and our beautiful fucking sky. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Are you sure? It's so wonderful over here. You have to come and see. No, it's fine. Really, we'd much rather just sit here in the dark. Fine, suit yourself then. Come on, everybody. Let's have a giant sex party under these beautiful fucking blossom trees. Fucking asshole. See? But point being, the environment in Hoshido and Birthright is just gorgeous. Now, the gameplay itself is a lot easier. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be a piece of cake, it's not going to be Candy Crush, but this is going to be a lot easier than Conquest. But it's still got its hardness like a typical Fire Emblem game, with a lot of different levels and different options for you to continue to find ways to challenge yourself if you so wish to. My only kind of issue I had with Birthright's gameplay in comparison was a particular class, and the class is the healing class. The healing class for this is almost these cards, essentially. This weird kind of staff thing they'd use and make all these cards appear around you, and that's the way it would heal you. And I don't really have a particular reason, I just didn't really like it. This class isn't available to be used in Conquest as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section down below. It's different and I'm not necessarily a fan of it. I prefer the traditional way they've had to do things, where you're like using a staff to heal people, or using a spell book to actually launch spells at people. Now, I understand the difference. It makes total sense. Most of the Fire Emblem games have been based on European culture, and because of that, it's been kind of European weapons, European magic, European mythology, and that kind of stuff. And this is and Hoshido is based on Japanese culture. So the whole using the cards thing, it totally makes sense. I understand why they used it. I just didn't necessarily like it. I don't know, maybe that's just me and my white privilege, but that was my thought on it. Last but not least, the story and characters. Now, being a newly become die-hard Fire Emblem fan, I have to say, oh my god, it was so good. The story was just awesome. And not get me wrong, the Norse story wasn't terrible, but it is still a fantastic story. But it was just trying to just get back to the classics. There was no power struggle, there was no right or wrong, and it wasn't this. The other Nor just felt constantly draining, and it was just a hard emotional story to go through. Whereas this one, it's a good old-fashioned, guys, let's team up together and kick some fucking ass. Yeah! And it was a blast. And what makes it so fun too is that it's not like in this story, because you chose to side with Hoshido, you're not having to make decisions where you're having to do the thing you know is wrong, but you know it has to be done. You're the good guys. So what you're doing is good. And so you don't have to feel as guilty or as bad, which is great. Now, don't get me wrong. This story still has its depressing moments. There's one moment in the story where I literally almost started crying, but I had to stop myself because I was sitting in the lunchroom of my new job, and so I didn't want them to all think I was that guy who just starts crying because of video games. I am that guy, but they don't have to know that yet. All in all, I thought the story was a lot smarter in the decisions they made, and even Nor, as I talked about in the other review, Nor I felt had a lot of more stupid moments in it where just dumb things happen. You're like, it's kind of weird. Why the hell did that happen? These moments didn't happen as much. The only thing, there is one moment that is dumb, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's the way, near the end of the game, I'll say that, right before you fight King Garen, something big happens, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, for any people who have played know what I'm talking about. I didn't like the way that was handled. I thought that was not typical of the way that character should have acted. Maybe you disagree, maybe you don't disagree. Let me know in the comment section below, let's talk. I'm curious, because to me, the way that character decided to act right before you fight King Garen, the mission before it, that pissed me off. Like that, I genuinely almost lost my shit. Because it was just it was a stupid moment. I didn't like the way the character acted. He didn't seem like he would have acted at the rest of the game. So, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Whatever it is, let me know, comment section down below. If you're really curious, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you don't want to be spoiled, don't look at the comment section down below. Connor, you have issues hitting 10 views on a video. Do you think anyone's going to be commenting on the bottom section? Hey. Yeah, you're right. The other issue I had was with some of the characters. Now, don't get me wrong. Fire Emblem Birthright did a fantastic job, like always, in making some great characters that are very different and unique and lovable. So they still did a good job with that. Except for Takume. Takume, that stupid fucking bullshit piece of dick asshole. Fuck him. He pissed me off so much in Conquest that as soon as I got him in this game, I sold all of his gear and put him in a fucking towel. You betrayed our kingdom and killed our mom. Yeah, well, I sold all your shit, Takume. Who's laughing now? No, besides dipshit Takume here, the one issue I had with the characters was some of the characters just didn't feel as awesome. It didn't feel like there was as much great characters in this. Don't get me wrong, there's still some great ones, but I didn't get that as much. Although I think I know why I didn't feel that as much. And I think part of the reason is this Conquest side. On Conquest, you deal with the Nor royal family a lot. And the Birthright family, the Hoshido family, that you are mostly with this game, they're kind of the bad guys. Whereas in this game, Birthright, they're not just the typical bad guys. You actually have to deal with the Nor family a lot, and they play a much bigger role than Hoshido did. And so their charm and just their great character and personality just kind of shines through and just kind of blocks the way a little for some of the other characters, which it's not necessarily a bad thing. You're also only saying that because you fucking love the Nora royal family. They're so good. They're just so charming and lovable. I love them so much. Point being, that was my one issue, but all in all, it's not even that big of an issue. My issues with this game were minor, but I still loved this game. Absolutely thought it was amazing, like I do with most Fire Emblem games. It's truly a great story. It's a good old-fashioned Fire Emblem game with a big adventure leading up to fighting the bad guys. And so I could not recommend this game anymore. I'm giving this game a 5 out of 5. So what did you think of Fire Emblem Birthright? Do you think that Conquest is better? Do you think that Takume is a little bitch boy who should just shut the fuck up and down a bottle of bleach already? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time.